Atletico Madrid have just defeated Real Madrid 5-2 at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano in match week 7 of La Liga. I've been a football fan for a long time, which means I've been a Barca fan for a long time. And of course, being a Barca fan for a long time, it means I've rooted against Madrid for a long time. Every single time I've ever watched a Madrid game, I've hate watched them. I've wanted them to lose. Every single time. And I say all that to say this. In my life, hate watching Real Madrid, which again is a long time. That might be, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, okay? I promise you I'm not. That might be a top 5 hate watch I've ever experienced. It might be top 5. If you're a football fan, you dream of a hate watch like that. You dream of experiencing a hate watch like I just experienced and every Barca fan on planet Earth experienced just now. Because the base of any hate watch, what is it? What is the main component of any hate watch? Okay, what is the cake? What is the ice cream of any hate watch? The team that you're rooting against loses. That is without that, you don't have a hate watch. You don't have a successful hate watch or a happy hate watch. If the team you're rooting against wins, the hate watch was unsuccessful. The main component of any hate watch is the team you're rooting against loses. That is the ice cream, that is the cake. And then the cherry or the frosting to any hate watch is the game is amazing. Oh, the team that I'm rooting against lost, and also I had fun watching the game. And today we got that. We got the cherry and we got the cake. We got the frosting and we got the cake. I would have been happy with just cake. I'll eat the fucking cake. I'm a fat ass. I'll eat the cake. I'll sit down and eat the cake. I don't need frosting. But then you give me frosting on top of it. Anything without pumpkin, by the way. I'm not a big pumpkin fan. So pumpkin. Am I saying? I feel like I'm tripping out. Anyway? Anything without that orange thing that they use on Halloween, that's everywhere on Halloween, like whatever. If it doesn't have that, I'll eat it. But anyway, my point is, I would have taken just the cake. But today we got the cake and the frosting. We got the ice cream and the cherry on top. That was one of the best Madrid derbies we've had in a long time. Honestly, it is. The past couple Madrid derbies have ended 1-1. Today, it ended 5-2, 7 goals. That first half was amazing. We had a penalty goal, a free kick goal. We had comebacks from both teams, yellow cards, Masantuano kicking the ball at the fans or whatever the fuck. It was just amazing, bro. It was just honestly amazing. And this game, man, first of all, today we saw two teams that are not dropped points all season drop points. Liverpool losing to Crystal Palace at the last minute, and then we saw obviously Real Madrid just now, the game that we're talking about. They dropped points today for the first time, which of course is great. And also, another thing I want to talk about, I just wanted to mention that briefly. I don't know why I brought that up, but that was kind of crazy. Liverpool had not dropped points all season. They dropped points. I predicted Liverpool to go invincible. Sorry about the Liverpool fans. I may have jinxed you, but they're not going to go invincible anymore. They just lost to Crystal Palace and Madrid lost. So I wanted to point that out. But also, man, this game means a lot for both of these teams. It meant a lot for both of these teams. For Atletico Madrid, this is a game that could turn around your whole season. Like, it's well documented. Atletico Madrid have not been great so far this year. They dropped points a lot. Against Liverpool, they dropped points in the UCL after coming back from 2-0 down to 2-2, and they still dropped points because Van Dijk scored that header. They dropped points against Mallorca. They nearly dropped points against Rayo Vallecano this week, but they won that game. After being down 2-1 in the final 15 minutes, Julian Alvarez scores 2 goals and saves them. He saves them. If they would have dropped points in that game, lost or draw, it would have been disastrous for them, and they won that game at the last minute. And then today, once again, a comeback. And once again, it's Julian Alvarez scoring 2 goals. They're down 2-1 in that first half, and they scored 4 unanswered goals for the rest of that game. 4 unanswered. That is a game that could flip around your whole season because Atletico Madrid, and I've watched them plenty this year, they're not a bad team. They have a lot of quality. A lot of their new signings have been hurt, and their best players have been hurt. So obviously the team hasn't been full. But this team, when it's full, we see the quality they have. We know the quality they have. I mean, they signed a bunch of good players. They already have a good squad. So what we saw at the beginning of the year, them dropping points for fun, I don't think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was sustainable. I always knew this team could eventually turn around. And those 2 games that they just had, that's the perfect, those are the 2 games, 2 results you need to turn around, to spark momentum and obviously get you going in the season. So that result is huge for Atletico Madrid, who again have not been bad this year, but they haven't had the results to back it up. Now you have 2 back-to-back results that are really impressive. And, now you can build momentum from there. And also for Real Madrid, it's a wake-up call, man. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. What the fuck? What's on my mind right now? What are you thinking about, bro? It's a wake-up call for Xavi Alonso and for the fans and for everybody who was, praising Real Madrid, including myself, by the way. I'm a Barca fan, of course, as you guys know, but I sat here and said I was impressed with Real Madrid. I thought they looked much better compared to last season under Ancelotti. And I said that if you didn't see that, you're watching the wrong team. And I stand by that, by the way. One game doesn't change that, but this game today, it's a wake-up call because they had kind of been cruising all year. They were playing teams that they were supposed to beat and getting results. You're supposed to beat Marseille. You're supposed to be Levante. You're supposed to be Oviedo. You're supposed to be Real Sociedad. They came up against a team that they're evenly matched against, and you see today they lost 5-2. So, again, it's a wake-up call for Real Madrid and for Xavi Alonso, who are kind of feeling themselves. Everybody was saying they're back to being the old Real Madrid. They're going to win everything, Mbappe, Ballon d'Or. And then today, like I said, those things could still happen, by the way. I'm not saying they're not going to happen, but this, like, now you kind of wake up a little bit and realize that it's not going to be as easy as we thought, just getting a new coach and everything's going to change because that squad and Xavi Alonso still have a lot of work to do if they want to get back to the top of football, which of course they were a couple years ago under Ancelotti when they won the UCL. But yeah, man, those are my two main points for these teams, for these two teams, what it can mean for them for the rest of the year. In terms of the game itself, in the starting 11 today, we saw Jude Bellingham for Real Madrid make the start. He obviously has been hurt most of the year. He hadn't made a start all year under Xabi Alonso. He played a couple minutes the past two games, but he hadn't made a start. This was the first time Jude started the game. Like, he started the game for Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso put him in there. He trusted him. And to me, that's a mistake. In a game of this magnitude, you cannot start Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham is obviously a great player and a guy who is eventually going to be a starter once he's fully back to being healthy game in and game out because he's that good. But in a game like today, I didn't feel like it was necessary to just put him in. Like, I think you could have done without inserting Jude Bellingham into this game because to me, he was a little bit overwhelmed. He did not look good today. So that's the one thing we saw from Xabi Alonso. He put Jude Bellingham into the starting 11, which, I didn't expect that to happen. I did not expect Jude Bellingham to start. I expected it to be, Vini on the left, Masantuono on the right, Arda on the middle, how it's been, obviously, for most of the year, and then Mbappe up top. But instead, it was Arda on the right, Bellingham in the middle, and then Vini on the left, and then Mbappe up top. So different front four. And again, I really wasn't too impressed with Jude today, so I think Xabi also made a mistake inserting him in there. So that's my first point with the Real Madrid starting 11. Now, with the Atletico Madrid starting 11, Sorloth got the start. And Sorloth, man, he's a guy who's good. We know as Barca fans, this guy can score goals. So he didn't start Griezmann, he started Sorloth, and it obviously paid dividends for them because in the first 25 minutes, Sorloth was cooking. And Atletico Madrid were overwhelming Real Madrid like I've never seen before. Honestly, those first 25 minutes were insane from Atletico Madrid. Insane. Like, they just kept creating chance after chance. Sorloth had a chance, and Juliano had a chance, and Juliano had a chance. Sorloth had another chance where he didn't get a shot off, but he was one-on-one with Courtois, and then Militao makes a tackle on that play, which I think he got hurt actually making that tackle, but he makes a tackle there, which just saves the goal. But my point is that Atletico Madrid were cooking, especially down the wings, and especially threatening Madrid with balls over the top. I mean, just like with crosses into the box. They cannot cope with Sorloth and his height. Even Hausen, who's 6'6", he couldn't cope with Sorloth and his physicality and his height. So Atletico Madrid getting out wide, taking advantage of Carreras because today he was bad, taking advantage of Carvajal and just putting crosses into the box and just dominating Real Madrid for the first 25 minutes. And that's how they got their goal, by the way. It was a cross into the box by Juliano, and then Norman is right there. He kind of loses the mark from Militao and puts into the back of the net, past Courtois. It was a great goal and much deserved at that point, by the way. They deserved to score that goal because they were the better team. And then Real Madrid get hit with that adversity, and they respond right away. A couple minutes later, it's a little triangle, Tchouameni to Mbappe, Mbappe to Arda, Arda back to Mbappe. Mbappe's making that run. He kind of pushes up a little bit, and Lenglet follows him, and then Orman doesn't close that space. You're supposed to close that space. It doesn't close the space. So Mbappe kind of just gets behind Lenglet, Arda Güler plays that ball, and then it's a great finish. It's killing Mbappe one-on-one with the keeper. I don't care if it's Oblak, Neuer. You can put Yashin, Buffon, and Casillas at the same time in goal. It's killing Mbappe one-on-one. He's going to convert. And the form he's in right now, the guy's ridiculous. And he converted that goal. It was a beautiful finish to the far post, by the way. A great finish by Mbappe. And at that point, it was 1-1. And in my opinion, it was undeserved. Madrid did not deserve to be drawing 1-1 at that point because they were not good. And then after that, Atletico Madrid kind of lost a little bit of their intensity. Madrid started keeping the ball a lot more. And then they got that second goal, courtesy of course, a pass from Vinicius Jr. A great play from Vini, by the way. A fantastic play from Vini. I mean, the way he gets down the touchline and fakes out, I think it was Lenormand and Llorente. By the way, Lenormand there has a stinker. He had a stinker today. Besides the goal, Lenormand did not play well today, in my opinion. He played like a little bit better in that second half than the first half, man. He had the goal, but he had that stinker where he just heads there right to, I believe it was, I forget who it was. I think it was Jude, no, maybe, I don't know who, but he headed it to a Madrid player, like right at him, or maybe it was Vini himself. Maybe he just headed it right to Vini, and then Vini carries the ball forward and fakes him out and fakes Llorente out, gets the ball on his right foot and crosses the ball to Arda Güler. Jude Bellingham does a great job there, by the way, of dragging the markers to the 6-yard box because he just takes a couple defenders with him and it opens up that pocket of space for Arda Güler. And by the way, in that play, Koke doesn't track back. Koke had a great game, but he doesn't track back Arda. And Arda's wide open, like right by the penalty spot, and tucks it away beautifully, by the way. A great pass and a great finish from Arda Güler with the side of his foot. Oblak could maybe be doing something there because I saw the replay and it was kind of central, the shot. Maybe Oblak could be doing better there. Oblak, a little bit washed, man. A little bit washed. And also, people this season hasn't been great, but that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, Oblak can't get a hand on it, and it was 2-1. And at that point, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I honestly could not believe what I was watching. I was like, this Madrid team, I thought they were back to being the old Madrid because I was like, oh my God, they're back to being this team that plays like shit and still manages to win the game somehow. I was like, is this the UCL? Did we hear the, what's the UCL anthem? Did we hear that before the game? I could have sworn it was a UCL game because Madrid were playing like shit and they're still finding a way to win. But then right before the half, Sorloth scores a goal. A great pass from Nico Gonzalez. A fantastic pass from Nico Gonzalez. And Sorloth, man, not from Nico Gonzalez, from Koke, sorry, from Koke, not Nico Gonzalez. It was a great pass from Koke, man, and Sorloth. Again, I don't know how he's able to head that ball. Huijsen couldn't cope with him. Nobody could cope with him. And he heads into the back of the net, and it was 2-2 going into halftime. And I was happy at that point because Atletico Madrid deserved that, man. They deserved that. it was beautiful from them. It was honestly beautiful from them. So I was super happy to see the way Atletico Madrid was playing. Honestly, like I said, they started off the first 20-25 minutes playing some great football. Then Madrid made it 2-1, and I was like, fuck, are they gonna put their heads down and say, why us? Are they gonna stop playing with that intensity? And they didn't lose that intensity whatsoever. So super happy about that. And again, like I said, it went into halftime being 2-2. In the first half, like I said, I didn't think Jude had his best first half, despite the fact that he made that run, like I said, to open up space for Arda. I didn't think Madrid's back line was good at all, man. I didn't think Carvajal was good. I didn't think Carreras was good at all. I thought Carreras was really, really poor, man. I thought Carreras was very poor. So I didn't think that Madrid's back line played well at all. I think Mbappe had a couple good moments, and Arda obviously with the goal, but I didn't think their back line played well at all. And also Arda had the assist, but yeah, I thought Koke had a fantastic first half. I thought Barrios, when he came in, that was obviously when he came in. But no, he didn't come in. That was the other guy. Pablo Barrios, I thought he had a great game. I thought Nico Gonzalez had a great first half as well. I just thought those guys really stood out in the first half. But then anyway, the second half comes around, and Militao was out, and Asensio came in. And Arda Güler commits a pen. And I'm texting with my cousin. I've mentioned him in the past. He's a huge Madrid fan, like I've talked about before. He loves Madrid. He's been a Madrid fan since I've been a Barca fan. We've always kind of been rivals with each other. We've always shit-talked each other about the teams. But anyway, he's a huge Madrid fan, right? And he asked me, because, he loves football like myself, but he's not really into the weeds of it like I am. I'm a content creator for football. I'm a lot more involved. And, I care about nerdy shit about football. So he asked me, right, because he's like, how is that a pen? Arda Güler gets the ball. And I love my cousin, okay? I absolutely love this guy. This is not the cousin, by the way, that helps me with the shirts for Final Third. This is another cousin. But I love him, okay? Juan Miguel, if you're watching this, I fucking love you, bro. I really do. But I really wanted to go through my screen and choke him out right there. I honestly wanted to choke him out. Not erotically, like in an angry way. Because that is the stupidest question ever. And if you think that way, you haven't been watching football long enough, or you just don't know the rules of football. His foot, even if he gets the ball, it's still at a dangerous height. He fucking hits Nico Gonzalez in the face. I think it was Nico Gonzalez who he hit, by the way. He hits him in the face. It doesn't matter if he got the ball. Yes, he got the ball. That's cool. He cleared the ball. His foot is still very high up. So, it's a clear pen. He hits him in the face. It's a clear pen. There's no discussion about that. We're not going to sit here and discuss about it. It's a clear pen. If you don't think that's a clear pen, you A, don't know the rules of football, or B, and I might give you a pass for this, you haven't been watching football long enough, but that is a clear pen every single day of the week. There's no disputing it. There's no doubt about it. It's a pen. The boot is high. It hits him in the face. Penalty. Every single time. As long as I've been watching football, it doesn't matter if he got the ball. The ball's high. The foot is high. The cleat is high. He hits him in the face. It's a pen. So penalty, Julian Alvarez converts it. Julian, who had been great all game, converts a pen, got his goal. Fantastic goal. And then, Julian Alvarez scored another goal. And I paused because I just remember that free kick, man. This guy's honestly, he's ridiculous. He's honestly ridiculous. That fourth goal that he scored, the fourth goal that he scored, was insane. What a goal that he scored. And Courtois maybe could be doing better, but this guy, what he has in his locker, he was fantastic today, bro. He was honestly fantastic. And that free kick, man, right at the edge of the box. He had another free kick, by the way, earlier from a different angle where he just hit it wide. He hit it a little bit wide, but he tried curling it in, kind of like Toni Kroos against Sweden in the World Cup in 2018. If you guys remember that free kick, he tried doing the same thing from a little bit less of a tough angle. Toni Kroos was ridiculous, but this one was a little bit less tough, but still, it was close. And then he got that free kick and put it into the near post. Insane. Courtois, again, like I said, could be doing a little bit better there, but Julian Alvarez got a brace today, and that second goal was fantastic. And then the fifth goal came right at the end, man. The last goal of the game where Antoine Griezmann, Pablo Barrios feeds him the ball after a terrible pass from Fede Valverde. We'll talk about Fede, by the way, because I have not been impressed by his season so far. But he plays a sloppy, lazy pass. Pablo Barrios picks up the ball, carries it forward, and then feeds it to Griezmann, and then Griezmann converts it, and it ends up being 5-2. Was it Barrios or was it Baena? Maybe I'm tripping, bro. I'm sorry if I'm having trouble with these. Like, this game, let me see who it was. It was Baena, sorry, not Barrios. It was Baena who obviously plays in the assist for the fifth goal. And, the game was over before that, but that just kind of put a stamp on it. Griezmann, that's the first goal they scored in La Liga in a long time. But in that second half, I thought Madrid came out lazy. I thought they didn't play any good football at all. That is like, in MMA, they score rounds, right? They're scoring in MMA for every round. And, there's 10-9, 10-8. 10-7 is rarely ever given. 10-7 basically means you dominated the whole round and just didn't get a knockout. You knocked the guy down 5 times. You held him, you choked him out for 5 minutes and the guy just didn't tap and he somehow still survived. That is a 10-7 round where, you won the round and the opposition literally couldn't do anything. You did everything except basically knock them out or end the fight. That second half is as close to a 10-7 round as I've ever seen in football. That was utter domination from Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid didn't create anything in the second half. They didn't create anything. Vinicius Jr. had the assist, obviously, for the goal. And it was a great play. I've already talked about it, but he wasn't great. I thought the back line as a whole played terribly, from Carreras to Hausen having his worst game as a Madrid player. He was 6'6" and could barely ever handle what Sorloth was doing. I mean, they just couldn't cope with Atletico Madrid's size and their ability to head the ball in the box. I thought it was poor from them. Asensio wasn't great when he came in to me in the second half, and then obviously Carvajal was decent but not great still. He just wasn't great. Very hot-headed still. I mean, we know how Danny is, but I just didn't think he was great. The midfield, I think it was a poor performance from the midfield, man. I think Fede Valverde has not been the same player this season, and I don't know what's happening to him. He just seems uncomfortable in the first phase of play receiving the ball. He seems uncomfortable receiving the ball at his feet. As a midfielder, you have to be comfortable with that, and he just seems uncomfortable doing it. So I think Fede just seems off this year. He has not been good, and that pass that he played for the final goal from Atletico Madrid was awful, man. That was a bad. Sorry about that. I had to drink some water. That was a bad pass. So I think he's been poor. I think Tchouaméni was actually, he wasn't his best today, but I still think he was the best out of the midfield three. I think Bellingham was absolutely terrible. I don't think Jude affected the game in any way. But again, he's coming back from injury. It's his first start in months. I didn't expect him to start in a game like this. You can't put him in a game of this intensity. I don't really have envy for people who go to the games. Honestly, I don't. I don't enjoy going to sporting events at all. It's something that I don't enjoy doing, except when it's UFC. I like going to UFC fights, but that's different. So football, basketball, American football, I don't like going to games. I've never had stadium envy like I just had today, bro. That Wanda the Real Metropolitano, I keep saying I keep trying to call it Wanda. The Real Metropolitano looked like, the atmosphere was crazy. It was like a cup final or something. So inserting Jude into an environment like that, I think it was poor from Xabi Alonso. And keeping him on the game and taking off Arda, he took him off and brought in and kept Arda on when he brought in Mastantuono. He brought Arda off and kept Jude Bellingham on when he brought in Mastantuono and Camavinga. That's a poor decision, man. Jude Bellingham should not have played longer than Arda Güler. I thought Arda Güler actually had a good game. He had a goal and an assist, but again, he got taken off in the second half. Also had the pen, which was a clear pen. So he kind of had like a Materazzi in the 06 World Cup final. Gives away a pen, scores a goal, assists in a goal. Materazzi didn't assist, but you get my point. Mbappe obviously had the goal. I thought he was good, but not the same Mbappe that we've seen. He kind of was MIA a lot, but he was probably Madrid's best attacker. Vini had the assist. To me, wasn't great in the second half, but he did have the assist, and Rodrigo came into the game, and Mastantuono came into the game, and to me, both of them weren't great. I don't think Rodrigo did much. He tried, but he wasn't great. I think Camavinga actually, when he came in, he did fairly well. But yeah, man, this is a wake-up call for Real Madrid. It's been, they've been winning games, but it's against teams as they should be beaten. And I think for Atletico Madrid, man, this is a huge performance from them. I thought Barrios was fantastic. I thought Paulo Barrios had a great game. I thought Simeone had a really, really good game. I thought Julian Alvarez was amazing. I thought Baena, when he came in, obviously had the assist. Griezmann scoring the goal. I thought Nico Gonzalez was great. I thought Koke. I was checking my phone, seeing the calendar. I thought it was 2016. I thought I was gonna hear Hotline Bling on the radio and see the Golden State Warriors win 73 games. I thought I was gonna see that because what the fuck was that from Koke, bro? He looked like 2016 Koke. It was crazy. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on the Madrid derby. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Again, this game will mean nothing though if Barca don't pick up 3 points tomorrow. So they must pick up 3 points tomorrow. Obviously, we'll be here for the match review for that game. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on the game. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. For the best graphics in the game, check out the final thread. The link, as always, is in the description down below. And yeah, I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.